And pitching the off for the Bandits, number 27, Tim Atherton. Let's hear it for y'all. Retelling Brisbane Bandits.
Why are you touching me?
Attaboy, Puffer. Wind assistant.
Shortstop number 24, Bruce Smith.
Good evening and welcome to Vidicon Stadium, where we are the start of Game 2. We did have a delay due to rain. I'll go straight into this. On the mound for Brisbane Bandits will be Tim Atherton, captain of Team Australia, as well as the ace of the Brisbane Bandits. Tonight I'm joined, my name is Paul Gonzalez, I'm joined by pitcher and Bandit star and national player Sam Holland to my left. Sammy will be helping with the colors and the calls tonight. And Sammy, it didn't look good, but we were able to get the field prepared, and looks like there'll be a game of baseball, hopefully, weather permitting.
Yep, mate, where there's a will, there's a way. And you obviously saved the best player commentator for last, so well done on that call.
Thank you, Sammy. I knew I could count on you. So, once again, like I said, I want to acknowledge, first of all, everyone involved, particularly the grounds crew, Glenn O'Brien, Justin Stats, Miranda Friskin, amazing job today. He's put in championship effort, as well as a number of the volunteers soldiered on after Game 1. Game 1 was quite a feat, 5-1 in favor of Brisbane over Team Australia. The stars of that game were Rory Splitter and Franco Natal, with both hitting 2 home runs. Well, excuse me, Splitter hitting 2 home runs, driving in 4, and Natal hitting solo shots to right field, and outstanding pitching by the Bandits in Game 1.
Yeah, it's good to see some of those young Bandits players stepping up and hitting.
Got a chance to have Timmy in the box yesterday, and I guess what was so amazing is, one, getting the chance, and I know you've been a teammate with him for a number of years, so you've got to see it firsthand, but we've watched it from afar, but actually get into his mindset. And what was great is just his passion for wearing the green and gold, as well as how he represents the Bandits, and you know how he emphasized how important it is for this next generation. Wow, that's nasty for out number 1 in strikeout. I wonder that's a Skyfleet Hino strikeout. There might be a few tonight from Atho, because if his stuff's on, he's done this against some of the best in the world.
Yeah, and Atherton really resembles what we want in pitchers in Australia every time he puts on that green and gold, and also the blue for the Bandits. He plays with such passion, and that's these guys to see that and face against that tonight. That's a good experience for those guys here. And like you said, they're facing world-class pitching. So,
and young Solomon gets a chance to face probably one of the best pitchers in the world, in Australia, if not the best, and probably when we saw at the Quals, he was one of the best pitchers in the world at the time when he took on Team USA. And now it's always different when you watch it on telly, and then you get first-hand experience and watching his presence on the mound coming at you.
Oh, 100%. Not an easy guy to face at all. That's why I throw him and not try and hit him.
Wow, another high heater. That'll be out number 2, and that is another Skyfleet Hino strikeout, and that's the second strikeout and the second out of the inning. I guess the one good thing with Atho pitching is, one will be efficiencies, and the other one is if there's no contact, there's no real threat of getting down the line. Look at chance to catch up with the velo, and I know it's probably a sneaky 91, 92 in there, but it comes out of his hand like it's 97, just because he's such a presence on the bump.
Yeah, definitely. He's throwing bowling balls up there. It's a heavy. It's like the ball's weighted or wet or something. I played catch with him once or twice, and that was enough for me.
No, he told us some great stories on Friday night, and one of the ones he told us was just about how he, Roland Smith had mentioned to him when he was pitching against Japan, ball's hit up in the air. Atho wanted it, and he's actually looking at his third baseman. That's Splitter, and Splitter will field it, and that's the third out, and that'll complete the top of the first inning. Tied up 0-0.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino SmartSafe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Red Sports. the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
We are back here at Vidicon Stadium. A gorgeous night, a bit of rain. Unfortunately, it was forced to delay, so apologies to the viewers. We were supposed to tee off at 6 p.m. and end up having a 7:30 tee time just to make sure the field was prepared after the rains came through. But we've got a great night. We've got two great teams going to battle. It's been a great three-game series. I'm joined by my partner in crime, Sam Holland, Team Australia representative, and Brisbane Bandits. Really jack of all trades on the bump. You've closed, you've set up, and you've started. So you've worn all the hats.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. And this year and last year, probably a little more so than in the past. But whatever you can do to help the team win, whatever situation you need to go into, you just got to be best prepared for it.
And I think it's what we talked to with Atho and even Lutz as well, where you guys, when you looked at the dominant era of the four, Claxon Shields, you were still a young buck at that stage, and now you're a leader and a veteran within this ball club with your experience. And now, obviously, when you're seeing the push of the futures programs, and now you're seeing the Team Australia, it's great that now you're a leader that's worn the green and gold. You've played at the U.S. levels as well, and now you sharing your knowledge with the next generation. And it's got to be a great feeling. So now you're the mentor within that clubhouse.
Yeah, I started off with the Bandits as one of the first official development players when they added development players to the rosters back in, I think, 2010. So, yeah, now being one of the veterans on the team, it's a privilege and an honour to kind of go through that pathway.
And I've had the privilege of working with you, and like I said, I acknowledge what you do because your style is unique. On the bump, high competitor, but off the field you can keep that team loose, but they have that respect for you where it's a good chemistry. And like I said, it's good for some of the young kids that are a bit shy because you've helped embrace and bring them in. Talk about another veteran at the plate. We've got Soupy Campbell, and I remember Soupy coming in the early 2010-11. He was 19 and was still with Cleveland Indians, and now he's a grown man and representing Team Australia as well as the Bandits for a number of years, and another leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah, definitely.
Swing and a miss. That'll be out number one, and a big strikeout. That's another Skyfleet Hino strikeout for Team Australia. And I think that's what's been impressive. We've actually seen really good baseball. We'll get a chance to see the highlight, and just seeing the velo. I mean, these guys are first time sometimes matching up, but it just shows that that's a national player facing a young guy. He's able to get it by him, and just shows that these guys have come out here to compete.
Oh, being a pitcher myself, Gons, I've been extremely impressed with the arms that the under-19 Australian team have showcased over these three games.
And there's someone that's not new to a good fastball, especially if you leave it up, and a good friend of yours, and obviously a long-time Bandits hero and fan favorite, Donald Lutz, shoots one into right field for a one-out single.
Yeah, good swing there by Lutzy.
Once again, another veteran stepping to the plate, and in Mitch Nielsen, part of the four-peat as well, and another fan favorite as well, steps up. Team Australia playing a slight shift to the right side with the shortstop playing on the second base side. Second baseman playing more to the pull side. First baseman Lim holding Lutz on. This will be a 7-inning game. It was always scheduled for 7 innings. Obviously, weather permitting, balls hit sharply. Lim fields it cleanly, and that'll double up, and that's a very clean, efficient third out, and that'll finish the first.
Just the way they planned it.
Absolutely. So after 1 inning to play, Bandits 0, Team Australia 0.
job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Welcome back to Vidicon Stadium, where we start at the top of the second inning. Defensively for the Brisbane Bandits, we have Donald Lutz at first base, Mitch Nielsen at second base, Dermot Fritz at shortstop, Rory Splitter shifting over to third, Liam Taylor in left, Andrew Soupy Campbell in center, and Dan Nielsen in right. And behind the plate is Ryan Battaglia, and on the bump, Team Australia captain, Bandits ace, Tim Atherton. Stepping up to the plate for Team Australia will be Johnny Lim. Once again, another local product, and it's great to see a lot of Queensland, and obviously it makes sense, obviously trying to build the rosters, but another Queensland representative for Team Australia in young Johnny Lim has shown a lot of potential and shows a high ceiling of what his future can be in baseball in Australia.
Yeah, it's good to see, you know, especially a lot of young Queenslanders on this team, Australia, and definitely faced Johnny a few times in the last few weeks, and it's never an easy battle.
Oh, and he's gone ahead and, sorry about that, he's gone ahead and opened up in the first pitch, which I think a lot of people do against Atho, because he's not the guy you want to get behind on, but I'll let you continue. You've had a chance to face Lim, and obviously aggressive young hitter.
Yeah, Lemmy, Smitty, Hawkins, some of these young guys face them in club ball as well as in the inner squad games and on last night's game as well, and I definitely don't take it easy on them. It's not in my nature, but they have definitely earned my respect at the plate, and I give them nothing but my best, and I expect them to do the same in return, but definitely some young, good hitters.
Young Kane McClendon chasing the first pitch up off Tim Atherton, and it's really hard to lay off. I mean, you know you're going to get velo, and one thing Atherton did talk about on the broadcast, in working with David, is how to use the fastball, and really it becomes potentially 6 pitches because the way he elevates and leverages in and out, and you know this better than anybody, when his secondary and third pitches are working, it's a tough day at the office. Yeah, definitely. You know that you can get away with just using a fastball for the first inning, but if you got your other pitches up your sleeve whenever you need to pull them out, it's a tough at bat. Once again, another tough at bat for young McClendon, and that's out number 2, and that's another Sky Fleet Hino strikeout. And once again, like textbook, Tim Atherton just continues to get stronger. Good chance to see again this replay, this Sky Fleet Hino relay. Just high heat, and we've seen it do it some against some of the best in the world. And like I said, this is, as a young athlete, what a great opportunity to have to face this man here. And really go, what's the next level? And now you get first-hand taste of the next level. Yeah, definitely. It's only going to help them with their careers moving forward. You know, you don't know how to hit 93 until you face 93 a few times. So a little bit behind in the first inning, but I'm sure they'll figure it out. Ball hit center field. Ooh, good sliding try, but center fielder Soupy Campbell unable to come up with it. And that'll be a knock, and that's probably something that we want. That young man will keep the ball and say, "I've got to hit off Team Australia captain Timmy Atherton. Good effort by Soupy Campbell, and Team Australia have a 2-out single. They could bring another Queenslander to the plate in Oscar Hyde.
Another young hitter who I've had a few at-bats. He's had a few at-bats against me lately, and I don't think he's got a hit yet, but I tell you what, he's found some barrels. I think I've gotten away with a couple of pitches there on Oscar, so he's swinging a bat well at the moment.
I think he's another one that just, the more at-bats he gets, and as he matures, he's going to be another guy that, once again, aggressive, and that's what you like to see as a young guy. Is he going to be intimidated by the presence, or is he going to take on the challenge? And we've looked at Lim, and we've looked at these guys now. They're out swinging the bat, which head coach Shane Watson would have advised. Don't let him get ahead, be aggressive, and just trust yourself. Ooh, good pitch. Good location. Both making Atho work a little bit. But once again, a great night, and once again, want to acknowledge the grounds crew. I can't acknowledge them enough on the work and the effort they put in just to get this game in. That's a good pitch down and away, and that'll be the third strike and the third out. That's another Sky Fleet Hino strikeout. Once again, Atho continues to rack them up. We'll come back after the break.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino SmartSafe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
Welcome back to Vidicon Stadium. We are now in the bottom of the second inning. Game is tied at 0-0. We've had quite the pitching matchup, and tell you what, our Tim Atherton is definitely racking up the Sky Fleet Hino strikeouts. Defensively for Team Australia, we have Lim at first base, Griffin at second base, Smith at short, Campbell at third, Hawkins in left, McGuire in center, and Wilson in right. Behind the plate is McClendon, and on the mound is Zach Elvey. Ball one up to Dan Nielsen. Like you mentioned, Sammy, the arms have been good. We, in game one, I got a chance to see young Jackson Ground, who was a bat boy at one stage, and for the Bandits, and now he's punching Bandits outs and breaking bats. But he's also now 6'1" and filling out into a pretty good sized presence on the bump. So once again, another young, bright arm coming through the system.
Yeah, he's definitely one to watch out for. He's got a big body on him with some pretty clean mechanics there, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Ball hit softly to the right side, but good hustle by Dan Nielsen, but not able to beat it out, and out number one. Another bright spot to the Bandits, and last year, Rookie of the Year for the ABL, and had a fantastic year. I had a chance to talk to Atherton, and everybody called him. He'd love to face the big leaguers and came up with big hits all last year, and he continues to stay on the same pace and really has the ability to barrel up a baseball and really understands his strike zone well.
Yeah, flew in under the radar last year, you know, not a regular name for the Bandits by any means, but came up clutch in some big situations and has really stepped up this year after getting Rookie of the Year and has proved why he got that.
Ooh, good play by Lim at first on a tough shot from Fritz. And once again, just talk about being able to barrel up right there. Another hard hit ball, but a good job by Lim. He's playing first base most of the time behind the plate, but good pickup for out number 2. Now here's a guy you'd know well, and obviously you've thrown to him for a number of years, or pitched to him, excuse me, for a number of years. And once again, another veteran on this ball club in Ryan Battaglia. Fouled it back for 1-1. Team Australia playing straight up against Boof. Once again, looks like the weather will hold up. Hopefully we'll get the full 7 innings in. That'll wrap up this series in this showcase. Next series and showcase is scheduled on the 4th and 5th of February. That ball hit foul, moves the count to 1-2. Will be 4th and 5th of February, and at this stage it's Canberra. We'll be visiting Brisbane on the 4th and 5th. We have on the cards the 25th and 26th of February. We had scheduled Perth pending. Obviously there's some things outside our control, which will be WA government at the moment, so we'll just wait and see. But I think we're looking at options of maybe re-presenting this showcase again. Team Australia potentially coming back. That's still in discussions and negotiations with both parties.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what the rest of the season holds for us. But anytime we get any games against some quality opposition, it's good baseball. The fans love it, the players love it, and it's good.
Ball is hit to center field. That is to Maguire. Maguire will get underneath it, and that'll be a clean 1-2-3 for Elvie. So after 2 complete, Bandits 0, Team Australia 0.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Welcome back to Vidicon Stadium. We are now in the top of the 3rd inning. Brisbane Bandits 0, Team Australia 0. Been a good head-to-head pitching matchup. We were in for a show tonight. Get a chance to see Team Australia captain Tim Atherton on the bump. Also Bandits ace. And actually seen a pretty good job by Team Australia's pitching all weekend. Sammy, you and I talked about that, and it has been impressive. If you take away the walks, and I think the walks were really a product of the environment, and it's what's so good about this showcase. It's given these young athletes exposure to the environment of music and crowds and streaming and family, and if you can get rid of those, as you know, you've played it at the international level, balls hit hard. First base, Mr. Lutz able to come with it. That is out number 1. Good cover by Tim Atherton, but you've played on the big stage. You've been to Japan. You've played in qualifying events. And really, the game doesn't change, but the arena does, and it's about who can acclimate to the arena. And the more we can simulate that, the better it is for our athletes to transition.
Yeah, it's a great experience for these young guys. And what you'll notice is the consistency in the young pitchers is not quite there. You know, they have a really good inning, and then sometimes they can bounce back with a couple of walks, like you said earlier. But there's definitely some highlights there for these young guys. Zach's doing a really good job on the mound tonight. Seems very composed out there, facing a very good lineup. So this far, he's impressed me a lot as well.
And it's a good word to use. It's composed, and I always look at that whether. And this guy does it probably better than anybody. His mound presence and composure. You can't tell his demeanor always remains the same. It's just so focused on his game plan. And that's what doesn't matter about velo. Sometimes it's about how do you maintain that mental composure on the bump.
And I guarantee if you took a video of Atho now and Atho versus Team USA from the Premier 12, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference from his point of view.
And ball hit sharply by Griffin, just past Rory Splitter at third base, and that's another knock for Team Australia. So with one out, man on first base. And that'll bring up another, I guess, a promising star. I've been really impressed with Luke Smith. He's very consistent. He just makes the routine plays. He reads the game extremely well, and he finds a way to barrel up the baseball, very similar to Fritz.
I've seen that firsthand, mate. I threw one down the middle, and he hit his, I think, one of his first A-grade home runs off me opposite field, and I couldn't believe it, but I tipped my cap to him, mate. He got it well, so definitely a good young hitter.
And when you look at that chemistry, and I guess I can look at it like class of, when you look at the next 4 to 5 years of talent coming through, and there's still Connor McDonald, I think he's in college in the U.S., and they're still scheduled to come back at some stage. There's a class of kids that are going to be fairly formidable in the future. So ball's hit to right field. Dan Nielsen will get under that, and that will be out number 2, not allowing the runner to advance. But when you look at it on paper, and I guess if you're doing projections, as we all get older and we have families, there's a very bright future for baseball in Queensland and for particularly for the Brisbane Bandits through the programs as well.
Yeah, definitely. And those talent, I guess, they come in waves. You know, there's a bunch of kids that sign at a certain age, and you know, there's been a few years in the past where it's died off a little bit and talent here and there. But this is a very good core group of players, and I hope I'm around still when they're
ball hit hard
in the
by
2028 Olympics.
Fly ball to left field. Taylor will get under that, and that will be the third out, and that will complete the top of the third. So after half an inning of play, Bandits 0, Team Australia 0.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino SmartSafe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
Welcome back to Vidicon Stadium, where we now enter the bottom of the third inning. We have a tie ball game. It's actually been a pitcher's duel to date. A lot of efficiencies are been pretty outstanding. Once again, it was highly touted as a pitching duel, and it's actually turned into a pitching duel. I'm joined by my partner in crime, Sam Holland. Sammy comes obviously with fairly good credentials with the San Diego Padres organization. Anaheim Angels at the time.
Yeah.
And Team Australia and Bandits, 4-time Collection Shield winner, Sam Holland. Now stepping to the plate for your Brisbane Bandits will be Jacob Nielsen. Once again, I think Jacob's another sneaky one where I watch his progression, and it's just every year he just gets a little bit stronger, a little bit wiser, and I think he's kind of once again develop. And David and I have talked about this a number of times about when Australian athletes really hit their playing apex, and it's really between 26 to 28 when they really start hitting their maturity, just because they don't get the number of at-bats by not playing it overseas. So it takes them a little bit longer to catch up.
Yeah, definitely. I'd agree with that because I'm 27 right now.
You're in the prime.
You find too more when some of these older guys have stepped aside in the last few years and no imports this year. It's really given the homegrown talent a lot more at-bats and a lot more, I guess, consistent week-to-week high-level competition, and they're all benefiting from that and constantly getting better and taking advantage of each opportunity they've been getting in the last couple of weeks.
And I agree, and I think everything happens for a reason. I mean, obviously, there was decisions made to suspend this year and plan for a bigger 22-23, but it's also, good
nice
pitch. Really
well
good
done.
pitch. But what it's done is opened up opportunities and new exposure, and I think even here, this showcase has probably developed a new product. That's the Skyfleet, strikeout, but it's developed a new product that all franchises. I had 3 franchises ring me this week just talking about, the opportunities and what this meant, and I think you'll probably see, hopefully, this team tour more in future and have opportunities to play on these type of stages. Again, Zach continues to pound the strike zone, and that's something that's so important, as you would know, particularly in this ballpark.
Yeah, and Dingo talks about it at the national men's team level, and we don't get to play often together as a team. So for these young guys to kind of start creating that chemistry within their team at under 19s level, this is going to be the core group, like we're talking about going into 2028. The more games they get to play as a team, the better they're going to be.
100%. I watched in the rain delay and the breaks. They were all in. They were playing different games. They were playing a bit of typical baseball, cricket, and they were playing a bit of can't remember, flip, and seeing them working together, and they're from different states, but all that's about building that team chemistry. That means that when we go to war and on the battlefield, we're all brothers, and that's so important, particularly for the Team Australian culture and the teams that have had success in the past.
Yeah, definitely also saw a lot of those players on the rakes as well in between games, getting the field ready. Keeps us old shaggers happy that we get to keep our feet feet dry out in the pen or the dugout. But that just shows that they have respect for the game as well. So
yeah, thank you for
great.
mentioning that. I did see that, and it actually made me proud. And somebody said, "Oh, look, the young Team Australian kids are on the rakes," and I said, "I love that. That shows that what this game means to them, and they're willing to get on the tools to to make this happen, and that's how important these games are to them.
They want to play.
They want to play.
They want to play.
They want to play. Remember the last time I did that, we were at a game and it was rain delay, and I think Lutzy had just come down from Cincinnati, was revisiting to catch up with Mark, wasn't playing, and he was out in the stands, and I'm out there on the diamond drive bags, and next thing you know, Lutzy's on the rake and goes, "What can I do to help?"
Yeah, another big kid that just wants to play as well.
Splitter, 1 out, nobody out here in the third, sits with a 1-2 count, and once again, Zach continues to put pressure on the Bandits offense, and just doing little things, and it's so simple and but hard at the same time, just finding ways to get ahead and forcing hitters, swinging pitches out of the zone. Good pitch, good location right there.
If it's your first time watching this stream or baseball, pitching isn't always this easy. These guys are just doing a really good job of it tonight so far.
Pitches up, and Rory able to work the count to 3-2. And like I said, big game 1 of this doubleheader in the 2 o'clock. Drove in 4 runs, had a 3-run shot to to right field on a 3-0 count, and then hit a solo shot to right off the flagpole. He's driving his 4th run of the day. Ball's hit sharply to short. Knocked down by Smith. He'll eat that one. That's probably the safest play. And we will note that the footing isn't that greatest. It's had a lot of moisture, but just a good job of keeping that ball in front. Keeps the double play in order. That'll be an interesting one. If he was my son, I would count that as a hit.
Yeah, it's a tough one in these conditions.
We'll see what the ladies next door decide. Another young player for the Bandits. I believe that's Liam. Liam Taylor. Well, we've got a little bit of a break. Sammy, I'll acknowledge. I noticed you were engaged recently, so congratulations.
Thank you very much, mate. Yep, got engaged.
Ball's hit softly to the shortstop Smith, able to come up with it. And that's a good feed right there. And the one thing is for the young players right there, footing isn't great, but he gave a good feed, guaranteed the first out. Keeps runner off second base, takes the threat out of play for out number 2.
Also a good way to bounce back there for Smitty after what could have been put down as an error, to bounce back on the very next play and get it out there. That shows a bit of maturity from him.
Well, I'm looking at it. There's no error showing on the scorebook, so they have given it a hit.
There
so
you go.
I think that's a good call. So thank you, ladies.
Still a good play. But yeah, mate, recently engaged. The beginning of the doom.
Don't say that. I think it's congratulations.
No.
Said you, and she's a softballer as well. So
yeah, softball and baseball.
There you go.
Hopefully the women's Bandits team gets a run soon and we can be the first dynamic duo.
Oh, wow. You know what? I think we can make that happen.
I'm sure we
I think
can.
we can make that happen. Good pitch, good location, just down. Once again, falls behind in the count to a very dangerous hitter in Soupy Campbell. We've seen him game 1. I believe it was against Adelaide. First at bat, put one out of here. So we know we've seen him do that a few times. So we are at 0-0 here in the 3rd. Ball up in the zone. Speaking of dangerous hitters, another good friend of yours and fishing buddy is on deck, Mr. Donald Lutz, and he's hit a few off that house in his day.
Yes, definitely. There'll be a few dents in the roof up there that he can account for. Soupy as well.
Pitch up for strike. No green light, 3-0, so that'll make the count 3-1. Put Soupy in another hitting count. We are in the bottom of the 3rd inning, tied at 0-0. Ooh, good pitch, good location.
Battled his way back into this count.
And it didn't look like he just rolled it off. A little two-seamer, had a little bit of late movement on it, and so if you're looking to try to pull a baseball, probably hook it or break your bat. So Soupy laid off that, so now just have to expand the zone here, 3-2. Runners will be moving on the pitch. Ball's in the dirt. Liam will cruise into second base. Now putting a major threat with first and second, and a very respected hitter in the ABL, and obviously played at the major league level with Cincinnati Reds, and now running the academy program for the Brisbane Bandits, and you're working alongside him this year. So once again, now sharing the knowledge and the IP that he learned over the years, and it's really fantastic you guys are working together.
Yeah, he's a great guy to have around. He's the person you want teaching these younger generation of kids. He teaches in a really positive way and definitely in a fun way as well, which is promoting the good side of baseball.
Oh, he's off.
Of course, the Outlaws are up there in the corner singing his song. We missed them in the first game today.
Yeah, I think the neighbors were happy that it was a quiet first game, quiet Saturday afternoon. Good pitch, good location. even the count at 1-1, 2 outs. Bandits first threat of the night with runners on first and second. Liam Taylor on a base hit just past, excuse me, it was a force out, so he's at second base. Good pitch, good take by Lutzy. Puts him in a hitting count at 2-1. Doesn't get any easier for young Zach. On deck, another big hitter in Mitch Nielsen. So these are the types of really opportunities that really test you, but also prepare you for your future.
Definitely, when you face a good lineup, there is no easy inning. There is no easy lineup hole. You know, you talk about, you know, you might play club ball at a lower level, playing in juniors. You look at a lineup and you go, okay, I've got 7, 8, 9 coming up this inning, and you go into cruise control. If you run into 7, 8, 9 in this team, it's the 3, 4, 5 hitters on most other teams.
Well, I'll ask you a story. I got a chance to see you were in big league camp with the Angels, and you actually had to face a couple big names.
Yeah.
So you know firsthand. Good pitch, good take. So one of the big names you faced, was it Pujols or you?
I was with those guys in with the Angels.
Yep.
I told myself not to take note of who I was facing. That way I didn't get intimidated, and it seemed to work out for me in that way.
But once again, that was your game plan, because it didn't the fear component of who you were facing. It was just about execution. So
correct.
Pitches up. And I think that's the knowledge base that people don't understand that's shared in the clubhouse. When people can ask you the question, hey, Sammy, you went to big league camp, and you're like, yes, I have. What was that like? And then you share the story, you know, I don't know who I faced. And they probably go back and watch and go, well, you faced boom, boom, boom. And you're like, did I?
Yeah.
You know, but that really helps to lead to the success, because you were more focused on what you were trying to achieve as opposed to who you faced.
You're definitely aware of who you're facing in the situation at hand, but you don't try and draw too much attention to it by putting a name to a player per se. You know, you see a left-handed power hitter or a right-handed gap-to-gap guy, more so than a name on the back of the jersey. It kind of keeps you present and keeps you locked in on what you were saying before, on your task at hand, executing your pitch.
Yeah. So Lutzy moves the count to full, so the runners will be moving on the pitch. So there is a base hit that will score Taylor easily, but put a lot of pressure on the defense who's playing the shift. Play will have to be made at first. 2 outs. Ball fouled. Hooked foul. And once again, this is where the difference between higher level hitters, they just continue to hit the tough pitches and keep the at bat alive, and then obviously it's for you, it's really as a pitcher, is just making sure you don't get too fine and make that mistake and end up getting punished. So good battle for Zach here, and once again building his skill sets in this challenge.
Yeah, definitely. There's a fine line between being too fine and then putting one down the middle.
Ball hit very hard to Lim, able to knock it down, bit of PFP cover. Able to get over, and very textbook, and that'll be out number 3. And after 3 complete, Bandits 0, Team Estrella 0.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino SmartSafe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
Welcome back. Good shot of the dugout with the 13toe.com. Team Australia 19U. Put on a good show tonight. This is game 3 of the 3-game series in the showcase. Bandits won the first 2 games, and not easily. Team Australia's come out and they've battled, and you take away a few minor mistakes, and tell you what, it's been great head-to-head baseball this weekend, and we're in for a battle here in game number 3.
Yeah, they did an awesome job. I started Friday night for our Bandits, and they did a really good job of just manufacturing a run. A lead-off double by Smitty, and then a ground ball to get him to third, and another base hit ground ball to the right side to score him. That's good baseball. And when you talk about tournament baseball against some stronger teams, sometimes you're going to get those 1-0, 2-1 games, and the run in the first could be the only one you get.
And once again on the bump, Bandits favorites, the ace and Team Australia captain, Tim Atherton, continues to do what he does, and that's just pound the strike zone with that heavy fastball. And like I said, it's been great for these young players at the plate. Is young Clayton Campbell. Ball's hit right field. It's got a bit of height on it. Nielsen, probably Dan will call him off, which was done Lutz. That'll be an easy out, and out number 1. But it's interesting you say they manufactured runs, and people don't realize there's 2 styles of baseball. There's season, which is grind. Then you get to the playoffs, and then becomes manufacturing top baseball. And then there's tournament baseball, where manufacturing is so important. It's different between success and failure, particularly if you're not stacked with tons of talent and pitching depth. It comes down to who executes at the right time, and obviously who makes the everyday play is the one that contends for the medal. Another strong young hitter at the plate. Once again, you get to see in round 2 of this matchup between the future of baseball and the current star of baseball.
Good pitch there by Athot.
And this is what's so good. I mean, remember my first time I faced a pitcher, and he's a whole. Well, I mean, I think Bert Blyleven, and I was in Double-A, and another pitch. That's another strikeout. That's another Skyfleet Hino strikeout in the second out of the 4th. And get a chance to look at it. And this is what young Lim will find out, is when a future Hall of Famer for Australia throws something down the knees, they usually call that a strike.
Very much so. A 1-2-3 at bat there for Lemmy, unfortunately, but that's what happens when you get a guy painting corners and changing speeds all within one at bat. It's sometimes it's just not fair.
It's not fair. But the story is that you're facing first at bat, got a knock. I think it was a BP fastball, and I go, this guy's in the big leagues, and then he threw his nasty Uncle Charlie, and I went, whoa, that's another level. And I think this is what's great for these young athletes, get a chance to see the next level. And Atho's not in playoff mode. There's another beast mode he goes to when he gets into the playoffs, and you've seen that one as well. The ball's hit sharply. Once again, it's not able to come up with it. Should be as a hit, but we'll see how that's scored. If it's me on defense, I don't want that to be a hit. That was just too hard.
Yeah, if it's me on the mound, I beg to differ. Two different perspectives there.
Fair enough. I do agree.
They're all errors in my book.
Everything's got to be caught.
If your pants are clean at the end of the play, it's an error.
Ball up. Once again with 2 outs, Team Australia have a runner on first base here in the 4th inning. Tim Atherton continues to throw the ball well. Ball hit well into right field, and used that seam and right side of the infield. It's a good job of hitting right there, and that puts runners on first and second now with 2 outs. That was Hawkins shooting the ball to right field.
Yep. He's had a few good at-bats in our inter-squad games, and last week against Adelaide hit a home run in both of those series. So coming along well.
And then once again, just a good job of hitting, not trying to do too much with the baseball and just finding that gap, using that hole with the runner being held on first base. And once again, Team Australia have an opportunity to put a run on the board against a very, very tough arm. Tim Atherton, that'll bring to the plate Oscar Hyde. That's one thing I've watched both Lim and Hyde and a lot of these hitters. They're very confident in the batter's box, and as you know, there hasn't been any intimidation or fear in their approach, and that's a really good sign, a positive sign when you see the athlete's body language has been really positive in the box.
Yeah, definitely, and we talk about baseball being a mental game, and if they're not intimidated by the guy on the mound, that's an edge they already have. Then it just becomes about hitting or not hitting the baseball.
Correct. Count is now even at 1-1. This is a 7-inning ball game. It's the third game of this series. Bandits have won the first 2 games. Ooh.
Another good pitch there by Atho.
It even sounded good.
Yep.
And that's what we love. I mean, the Hailstorm team does such a good job here with BTV. Just we've got the on-field mic, and we get a chance just to hear his velo. And right, the ball just sounds heavy when it hits the glove. It just has a different sound.
No better sound.
We might have to differ on that one too. I like
All
this.
of the bat.
I like. Ooh, and another tough pitch. Another strikeout, and that's third out, and that's another Skyfleet Hino strikeout. It's something Tim Atherton used to dish. We're done with 4. We'll be back.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Welcome back to Vidicon Stadium. We are now in the bottom of the 4th inning. We've got a new arm on the mound. Lefty Zach Lachlan Brook will be on for Team Australia, number 15. I'll give you the quick line on Zach Elby, who actually threw outstanding tonight. 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 1 base on balls. That was outstanding. Like I said, he conceded no runs. He's got a fairly tough lineup to face. You've got Lutz, you've got Nielsen, you've got Soupy, you've got Dermot Fritz. So well done. You have to tip the cap to Team Australia and tip the cap to Zach.
Yeah, very well pitched by Zach there. I'd say best pitching performance of the weekend so far.
Oh, wow, that's a big call. What about young Grounds?
Yeah, he also did well.
But you'd think that's better.
3 innings.
That's true. 3 innings.
3 innings. Very composed.
Ooh.
I also might have been down in the pen not paying as much attention as I should have when young Jackson pitched. But
he was 2 1/3.
Yep, okay.
2 1/3, and he came bases loaded and got out
Yes,
of
he did.
the third. So
The first inning.
So maybe you want to think about that one. Ball hit sharply up the middle. Oh, good play by Smith. Once again, come up. That's a great play by the shortstop.
Well done.
Once again, Smith continues to flash the leather. A good play right there for out number 1. I can see this being a regular as far as an event. I think I'll have to run it by the boss man and run it by Team Australia CEO.
I'm in.
I'm in. I've enjoyed this. This has been fantastic, and I think, credit to Baseball Australia for supporting the initiative, helping us put their team together and getting them here, and obviously to manager David Nielsen. He was the one that planted the seed and said, Gons, we were trying to get a couple teams out and they couldn't for reasons, and said, I think Mark will agree to bringing out Team Australia, and I said, well, let's plant the seed, and next you know, he's like, make it happen, and well done on all parties' side, and we've been able to have quality baseball over the weekend. Another strikeout, and once again, great job by Brooke, and out number 2, and that's another Skyfleet strikeout. Once again, Team Australia continue to impress.
Definitely, and what better way for Australian manager Dingo to see the next generation of talent come through. He sees him in action right here, so
didn't even have to leave his couch.
Great experience for that. Just a stone's throw away.
Once again, young Brooke throwing a lot of strikes. He looks good. I'll let you kind of talk about mechanic-wise, but so far, mound composure, and I do agree with you, no one's looked scared. Everyone's looked really confident on the mound, but they all looked the composure's been fantastic, but mechanically he looks pretty solid.
Good off-speed pitch there. They've both been pounding the zone early in the counts this game so far.
I like their command. Everyone's shown command in the zone. They've commanded both pitches, and some have actually even had the command of the third pitch, either being a splitty or changeup. And as you know, if you can't command 3 pitches at this level, you will get punished. Ball hit sharply up the middle once again. Fritz just has the ability to barrel up.
Nice shot there by Demi. That's what he does.
So with 2 outs, man on first base after the sharp hit ball by Dermot Fritz, that brings up team veteran and backstop Ryan Battaglia. Pretty good turnout. Obviously weather would have deterred a few people, but we still had a good turnout. Had a great turnout last night, good energy in the ballpark, and so overall I think the organization's really happy, and the feedback I've got from balls hit sharply into left field, it looks like it's going to hook and foul, but feedback I've got from people that have been able to watch the stream has really acknowledged the fact that getting to see the future of Australia, and I think there's a lot of other states are saying we've got young talent we would like to put on show as well. I know there's some young talent out of WA. Spoke to Lockie Dale this morning and just saying, they want the opportunity to showcase, but obviously because of the COVID restrictions haven't been able to show their talents so far.
And I'm sure the fans are aware of that too. They wouldn't have stuck around in the rain and a couple of delays without thinking the same thing.
Good pitch and moving in ahead of the count, 1-2. No, I agree, and acknowledge the fans. They did hang around, and plenty of good food and definitely cold beer.
Might have to try some of those nachos after the game.
Ooh, big swing and a miss. That's now out number 3. It's another Skyfleet Hino strikeout, and that'll complete the bottom of the 4. So after 4 complete, Bandits 0, Australia 0.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino SmartSafe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
Good shot at the scoreboard there. The Reedy Towing and the Panel Fab and Stimson Security scoreboard. That's brand new. That's I believe that was Leading Edge might have supplied that one. I'd have to go back and look through the Facebook. If I got it wrong, I do apologize, but I'm hoping I got that right. But that is the new scoreboard here at Vidicon Stadium. It is the 5th inning, and once again we are tied 0-0. Team Australia doing a fantastic job on the mound. Obviously on the other side of the field, wearing the Bandits colors, Timmy Atherton. Both teams have given up 3 hits, but no runs on either side. I had a thought, and it was retroactive, and I don't like doing retroactives. I thought how cool would it have been if Atho would have been in the green and gold pitching against the Bandits and leading as a captain the future of Australian baseball.
I'm sure there would have been a few guys wearing blue that wouldn't have been too happy with that.
but from a PR perspective, I thought, you know what, that would be so cool. You know, you got, you know, Team Australia captain pitching for you in his colors, and then you're backing him and saying, I got your back. That would have been pretty cool. But at the other side of the thing, it's facing Team Australia captain in the Bandits uniform, and that's still a story to tell.
Definitely. It's a win-win situation.
Win-win.
Yep.
I'm sure there's a few kids in there buzzing. I got a hit off Team Australia pitcher Sam Holland.
Oh, yeah.
He's got nothing. That's what they said.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Until next time, I say.
And that's what makes the game so great, is that you guys, you know, one day you're competing against each other, next time you're teammates, and then that brotherhood is reunited. Wow. As Atho does, he just gets stronger like a big locomotive, and that's another Skyfleet Hino strikeout. I think he may be the poster boy for Skyfleet Hino by the end of the night. Might just make a jersey for him.
Tough at bat there for Lockie.
But once again, you know, it's a story. You know, who's the toughest pitcher who says, "Oh man, Atho, he was throwing 99 miles an hour that night." Good pitch, good location. Griffin at the plate. Once again, I cannot, and I will acknowledge again the grounds team and the whole team and the volunteers. Outstanding job. We're here in the 5th. Wow, good pitch, and got a chance to see. That's what really wanted to see. You know, how do these young men, you know, go against Team Australian captain? And like I said, they haven't backed down. They've put barrel on baseball. There's been the punch outs, but I've seen him punch out guys that are in the major leagues, so get in line. Pitches up, and another Skyfleet Hino strikeout. They will be a brand new Skyfleet Hino truck waiting for Atho to take him home.
What's the under or over strikeouts for tonight, Guns? What do you got on that?
You know what? I think one day, didn't he have like 11 or 12 in a night? Like, I don't want to put down the boys, because I'm saying 9.
Okay.
9's a good digit. He's probably sitting at 8 right now, but I guess the thing that's impressive is that, and he was up here, he's a father of 3. He's got a full-time job. He flies in from interstate. He really makes Friday his adjustment date, and then he gets on the bump and just puts up Skyfleet Hino Ks.
The man doesn't know the word excuse.
No, he doesn't.
He finds a way.
Ball hits sharply to third. Splitter comes up. Clean play to first. And that's out number 3, and that'll complete 3. So after, that'll be the top of the 5th. So after half an inning, Bandit 0, Team Australia 0.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer!
Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
We are back at Vidicon Stadium. I actually dropped the old school here in Newmarket. We have a ace call to the bullpen pitching change. On the mound will be number 54.
Got Cooper Olive on the mound now for Team Australia.
Cooper Olive. Once again, we've got a great head-to-head matchup tonight. And again, it's really a treat seeing Timmy Atherton throwing against future Team Australia and Team Australia 19U. As we talked about earlier in the broadcast, it's been really impressive weekend and got a chance to see a lot of bright young talent. Ball's hit sharply by Jacob Nielsen on a high fastball. That's a leadoff single for Nielsen. See if the Bandits are able to manufacture a much needed run. The final line on Lachlan Brook, 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. So once again for Team Australia, another outstanding effort.
Very much so. That's a good day at the office there for Lachlan.
Brisbane has 4 hits on the night. Team Australia have 3. We are tied at 0. Ooh, good pitch just off the plate. Ball up. Good live arm by Olive. Now he pushes the count to 3-0. Splitter had a big game in game 1 of this doubleheader, being 2 home runs and driving in 4 in a 5-1 win to the Bandits. Ball up in the zone. That'll draw the walk, and that's the first threat of the night, really, with nobody out. So stepping to the plate for the Bandits with runners on first and second, nobody out. That'll bring Liam Taylor to the plate. Probably if we're playing in a, might see a bunt situation, but I think tonight it's just about enjoying the game and playing a bit of baseball, see if he can manufacture some offense. Choose up. Good pitch, good location. Managers for the night, Team Australia, Shane Watson. And for the Bandits, David Nielsen. This was sometimes the little nerves, you know, wanting to overthrow and you know, you talk about game plan. Sometimes it's all out the door once you step out on the mound and you're on the stage. Now it's just about trying to throw through the catcher.
Yeah, I've seen it with a few of the pitchers from Team Australia this weekend. You know, like you said, big stage, big situation, wanting to impress people around and prove their worth within the team. Try a little bit too hard and the ball sometimes gets away from you, but he's battled back into this count and he's doing really well.
Tell you what, he's got a live arm now, moving the count to 2-2. Ball up and away. And that's the thing. There's a bit of pressure behind on plate. There's been a number of scouts, obviously, and they've got the guns out. And as you know, that changes the dynamics of the situation, because now all of a sudden everything's now measured.
Yeah.
So it's velo, it's exit velocity.
Gonz, I'd be lying to you if I said that doesn't still happen to me sometimes. I'm just a little bit more aware of it, and I'm able to get back on track a little quicker, but it still does happen.
And once again, like you said, works back into the count. That's another Skyfleet Hino strikeout for Olive. And once again, very impressive. Look at the location and just staying within himself. And you look at, he's got really good late action. So obviously just allowing himself not to overthrow and allow his natural ball movement, not forcing it. And now hopefully if he can induce a ground ball, he can get out of his inning. But he has his hands full here with another veteran, Andrew Soupy Campbell. That's what I really like. It just right now, good body and as far as frame, and really good late action on the two-seamer. So, guy that if he can really start to find that location. Ooh, ball's hit very hard.
So good swing there by Soupy.
That is a Jets Murrumbin Downs home run by Soupy Campbell. And that's what happens when you get a chance to see the replay and just made a mistake middle in to a very dangerous hitter. Represented Australia for a number of years. I've seen him do that more than once on this occasion, and now we've got a 3-0 ball game here in the 5th. Speaking of dangerous hitters, and you and I were talking about this in the break, little story, but another dangerous hitter at the plate in Donald Lutz.
Yeah, I love to pull a little bit of a prank on Lutzy every now and then. We had him in at Earnshaw State College. We're doing a mental session with the baseball academy there, and it was awesome to have him there. And you know, as you do, we had the slideshow up, and we put up his accolades and his first home run highlight reel. But what the coach didn't know is I slipped in a little bit of a video of me striking him out in club ball. So without him knowing, all the kids got to see me getting one up on Lutzy, and he had no idea, and he took it well, and he was laughing his head off. So a bit of good banter back and forth there.
Hits the ball hard to left field, and Hawkins able to run that down for out number 2. And it's a good story, and it just shows what a professional he is that obviously the big stage introducing him as the major leaguer and all his accolades of what he's achieved, and then you show him punching him out.
Yeah, man, he's down to earth, and if you didn't know him from a bar of soap, you wouldn't have known where he's been in this game. He's super humble, and that's what I like about what he does, especially putting forth those characteristics to those younger generations of baseballers, and especially guys coming up through the Bandits ranks.
Good pitch, good location by Olive. And I think this shows his character. I was speaking to Atho, and when Adelaide played in Melbourne a few weeks back, he put on the Giants uniform, and so did Atho. And I think talked about how important that was just to engage with those kids and show them that it's just about the purity of the game and where we can help, and just shows really our principal owner Mark Reedy's position is saying, hey, if I can support the game's growth, we're all in. Ball hits softly to the right side. Should be an easy play on the cover by Olive. Good job. A little bit of slip of foot, but
slippage there. Wet conditions, but he did well to stay with the play.
But after 5 and a big shot by Soupy Campbell, Bandits now lead 3-0.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino SmartSafe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.
Welcome back. Another shot of the Team Australia dugout in the 131toe.com sign. It's been a gorgeous night. Once again, we do have to apologize for the delay, but it was weather permitted, allowed us, we got a window of opportunity, and thanks to the efforts of the crew, Glenn O'Brien, Justin Stats, Miranda Friskin. I'm not going to say that I know everybody on the field, but I know everybody had rakes in hand, and towards the end, even some of the young players from Team Australia and some of the Bandits volunteer staff were out there making it all happen, and we're able to see a great game of baseball. Bandits are up 3-0 on the 3-run shot by Soupy Campbell.
Looks like there's a couple of defensive changes out there for the Bandits this inning.
I'll have to trust you on that one. Your eyes are better than me,
Franco's
Sammy.
at first. Zamora's moved to center.
And on the bump, still throwing pellets, Timmy Atherton.
Jay Myers behind the dish.
Thank you, Sammy.
No worries, mate. Here to help.
It's that nasty breaking ball. Moves the count to 1-1. We are playing second game of the twin bill. It is a 7-inning ball game. We are now in the 6th inning, and it's R leading 3-0. Ooh, good pitch, good hack by McGuire, staying on the curveball by Atherton. And that's when it gets really tough. The zone expands, and I think he goes up a notch on the fastball, and it tends to elevate a little bit more. Hard to play catch up.
It's really hard to predict what he's going to throw when he's ahead in the count.
Good pitch, good location, probably right where he wanted it. Solomon able to lay off. That's another thing we talked about, this young man, and you know his ceiling, and runs well, covers a lot of ground defensively, and just a matter of getting the shillelagh to work for him. Good pitch.
Good pitch
there. It's one of those tip your caps. Thank you very much, Mr. Atherton. It's another Skyfleet Hino strikeout. I think I saw the limo service from Skyfleet ready to pick him up. Good location, and there's not a lot you can do, and it is one of those where you just tip the cap and said, that's just too tough. So with one out, brings to the plate Clayton Campbell. Soft foul ball to right side. Just looking at the stat sheet, Nick Hawkins is actually 2 for 2, so he can officially say, I own Tim Atherton.
I would recommend he does not say that out loud, though. I'm sure he's well aware, though.
Ball hit sharply. Ooh, good play by
Good split.
Wow.
Great play, Splitter.
Wow.
No, I'm supposed to be up here commentating with you on the game, but I couldn't help but be a fan of that play.
Yeah, I mean,
that was amazing.
We'll get a chance
Well
to
done,
see the
Split.
replay here, and ball was hit sharply to his left. Dives. Just good composure. Obviously, trust his arm.
Off his knees. That's a big league play, guys. That's a big league play.
That is a big league play. So treated there too. Great play, and out number 2.
We touched on the pitching a lot over this series, but there's been some amazing defensive plays in the field too from both teams. It's good to see.
Ball hit sharply by Lim, right at the left fielder Taylor. And that'll wrap it up. That's the 3rd out of the inning. So after the top of the 6th, Bandits lead 3-0.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you,
Archer! Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Get a shot at the dugout of the Bandits. Been a good turnout and a good show. These guys have put in this showcase that we call the Australian Futures Baseball Showcase here in 22. Been treated to some good baseball and really see the future of baseball and the stars, the rising stars of Australia over the last 3 days. There will be a pitching change for Team Australia. This will be a Aces Communications call to the bullpen. On the mound will be right-handed pitcher Max Milner.
Coming in here to face the heart of the lineup. We've got 4, 5, 6 coming up.
All right, you gave me the over-under on Atho on punch-outs. What do you think he's sitting at right now?
Right now, 6 innings, I'd say, ooh, I'm going to go 11.
He's at 9.
Oh, okay. We'll call it a draw.
Well, he's not done.
He's still going.
Depends.
Mitch Houston, I think, warming up down there in the bullpen.
I think Dingo might have. I'm on. I think you said, what's the over-under? I said 9.
Yeah.
That's worth a power.
Pulled pork slider.
Pulled pork slider and the staminate.
I may or may not have inhaled one of those between innings here.
Stepping to the plate for your Bandits, number 2, Dan Nielsen. Dan had a big weekend against the Giants, hitting some mammoth home runs in that game and helping the Bandits win that series two games to 1 out of 3. Bandits will travel to Adelaide next weekend. Ball's hit sharply down the line. See if he decides to leg that out for 2 or just shut it down at 1, and he'll finish up with a single. And
good choice by Dan there. Really swinging the bat well this season for the Bandits, and it's good to see. You know, he's becoming one of the senior, more experienced players on the team, and he's really stepping up to that role.
And he's hitting that age we talk about, what David talks about. You know, 25 to 28, they start to really find their swing and hone in their craft. And
yeah, exactly. And his confidence is following as well, which is also a good thing. Good to see.
So Bandits will travel to Adelaide next weekend, where they'll play 3 in Adelaide Friday night, 2 games on Saturday. I know you guys always enjoy the Adelaide trip. It's a great place to play and visit. Then we return home on the 4th and 5th of February, where they'll take on Canberra Cavalry. And then return on the 11th and 12th to Canberra.
Looking forward to the first road trip of this this season.
It'll be good.
A good experience for some of the guys that have only played here at home at Vidicon Stadium, and it'll be a really good opportunity for them to see what ballparks are like in different states around the country.
A great ballpark there, I tell you what, definitely a pitcher-friendly ballpark at times. Depends on the wind, which way the wind's blowing off the coast.
Yeah, I heard whispers of the wind blowing out to left field on last night's game, and that's not fun.
We don't like whispers.
No.
No.
Has not been like that when I've pitched there, thankfully.
Gets off the plate. Move the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Once again to another dangerous hitter, a guy that uses the field well and just has the ability to barrel the baseball and find the gaps. Ball's hit sharp into a gap. And that's one guy, like I think that I've really been impressed with is for a young hitter is the ability to use the whole field. If you had to look at a spray chart, he's used the right side of the diamond. He hits the ball to the middle, uses the whole diamond, has sneaky power in the gaps.
Oh, very much so, and such a mature head on what is still a young player in baseball. It's good to see, and he's going to just continue to climb and get better throughout his next few years.
So once again, the Bandits threaten here in the 6 with runners on first and second and nobody out. I believe this may be Jay Myers.
Jay Myers, yep.
Ball up. Once again, another Bandits Futures player in Jay coming through the system. And once again, you look at, as players get older, what's the future look like? Another strong player coming through the ranks.
Definitely. He's been around for years in the Bandits organization, just doing his part here and there, whether it be catching pens and getting opportunities once a weekend without complaint is what I must add. And now he's reaping those rewards of getting a lot of game time and taking the bull by the horn, so to speak, and making the most of it.
Ball up. Now he falls behind the count 3-0. And this is where, as you know, particularly in this ballpark, you don't want to fall behind, and particularly when this lineup is now starting to lock in. That'll be ball 4 and be another walk, and that'll load the bases. That'll bring team manager for Team Australia, Shane Watson, out for a visit. Have a little tat, and I guess I'll ask you, your pitcher, A, what would you want to hear in this situation, and B, what do you think he's actually hearing?
Well, what I want to hear is probably something to distract me, maybe something about those pulled pork sliders we're talking about, or nachos, because in this situation for me, I probably am overthinking. What I'd be telling Milner now is, hey, just, you've got yourself into a bit of a situation. Attack this hitter. Let's work on getting ahead. Keep the ball low in the zone, get yourself a ground ball, maybe turn a double play and limit the damage. Being in this situation here and having the mindset of trying to keep all runners from scoring can sometimes lead you to overdo. When you have bases loaded, none out, you should be going into a bit more damage control and just kind of limiting the runs that the opposition gets and focusing on that task at hand, which is to keep the ball low in the zone and get yourself a double play.
Ooh, good pitch, good location. And that's where you want to be. At least there, you're not going to get in trouble. You can hopefully induce the ground ball, get 2. You can see 1 run, stay out of the beginning. Now he's got to make sure he's... Good location right there again. Like I said, sometimes that little pep talk, and I know Atho said Dingo came out yesterday and he put a hand on one of the shoulders. He said he called the hand hug. His hand's so big it's like a hug at the same time.
Yeah.
Ball hit softly into the dugout for
another good pitch there by Max.
1-2, and once again get himself back in control of the at-bat and taking control. I won't ask you to share the story, but I heard a story where Dingo had to come out to take you out, and you had a very interesting comment to him.
About another player?
About another
Is that
player?
this one? Yeah. I don't mind sharing.
Oh. Ball hit sharply up the middle. That will definitely score 1. Third base coach David Batke will hold Fritz at third. Once again, Bandits find a way to manufacture a run here in the 6th inning, now making the score 4-0 here in the 6th. The threat stays alive with a very dangerous and hot hitter at the plate. He made a very good play at third, big league play. Roy Splitter. Now, if you don't mind sharing that story,
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, last season I was pitching on the mound here at Vidicon Stadium, and a couple of errors made by Logan Wade, which is unheard of, and one of them was a missile that got hit off me that actually hit him square in the shin, and Dingo came out and put in the lefty to face the lefty on deck, and he comes out to the mound, and I look at him and I go, Dingo, surely you're here to take Logs out, mate, surely. Which amused him, and everyone else laughed but Logs, because he was worried about his shin, the big egg that had formed on his shin.
So ball's hit to right field.
Good catch there
Wilson
by Lockie.
Lockie Wilson able to get under it. That is out number 1. It's a big out for Team Australia. And Now if he can induce the ground ball and potentially get 2, he can stay out of the big inning. Bandits are leading 4-0 here in the 6th. This is a 7-inning ball game. Bandits have not really been able to manufacture any runs until the 5th when Soupy Campbell went deep with a 3-run shot. Well, we hope Logan's well, and obviously if he is listening, congratulations. I know he's got new bub.
Yeah, young Billy.
Billy?
Yep.
Fantastic. So hopefully he's well and tuning in. If not, we hope to see him soon. But he's doing the right thing, and he's looking out for Mama and new bubs. Ball hit sharply in the left field. Good job by Taylor, and that'll drive in Fritz, and that'll make it a 5-0 ball game here in the 6th.
Good at bat there by Liam, knowing what his job was there and just putting the ball in the outfield, scoring 1 run for us.
Once again, Bandits continue to threaten here, and another young, dangerous hitter in Tyson Zamora. He will step up to the plate here in the 6th inning. Bases loaded and 1 out. Good pitch, good swing for strike 1. Ball is fouled away for strike 2. Once again, this is the 3rd game of the showcase. This will wrap up the weekend. I want to thank Baseball Australia and Team Australia 19U. Put on a fantastic show, and just have an opportunity to acknowledge the stakeholders, everyone that's invested in this weekend, from our partners to all our members and fans. Could not do it without you, and definitely the volunteers and all the staff that make it all happen, and you guys, the players and coaches.
We got the easy job, mate. We just show up and ball out. It's all the guys out behind the scenes that get the job done that we don't get to see much, but it's very much appreciated.
I acknowledge that there's a lot of volunteers and team members that put in some hard yards, and thank them. Ball hit sharply up the middle. Ooh, not able to come up with it. And that'll drive in another run just out of the reach of both the shortstop and second baseman, and runners will hold. Once again, that will continue to keep the threat alive with 1 out and bases loaded. And another young, dangerous hitter at the plate, and this guy has a fairly good ceiling. I think it comes down to just at-bats, and more game time, and he'll continue to be a threat, not at this level, but even at the ABL level for a long time in Franco Natal. Good pitch in the other half by young Milner. He hit one last night. I think it was opposite field. Got out of here in a hurry. Pulled down, able to lay off the pitch in the dirt. It'll probably a blink, and the next Nielsen we see is Dingo's young as Eli. He'll be running around dominating this game.
Yep.
As well. Big swing and a miss. Strike 2.
It'd be a cool story to see both bat boys for tonight, Eli and Coop, out there on the field in 10 years' time.
If not sooner.
Be a very good before and after picture, or now and then.
Ooh. Foul ball, or that's a hit by pitch, so he'll...
hard to say.
Franco didn't want to go. I think he wanted to keep the at-bat alive, but that'll be ruled hit by pitch, and he'll advance to first base, and that'll bring in the 7th run of the game for your Brisbane Bandits.
Sounded like it hit wood there, but that could have just been Franco's bicep, which it looked like it was.
It was sounding more like steel. Probably the biggest arms.
Very much so.
In the Bandits dugout for sure.
Yeah, when I need my pants stretched out down around the ankles, I just get him to put them on his arms for a little bit. Does the trick, mate.
Pitch up in the zone. Looks like a pinch hitter. Be young Sam Campion coming in with bases loaded and 1 out here in the 7th. Good pitch, good swing. There he goes to an 0-2 count. So now he's got to find a way to battle and keep the at-bat alive and see if he can generate a run. Ball hit sharply, but just foul. Did see a little bit of action in the bullpen, so possibly Dingo might have told Atho it's been a night. If it is, I'll read his final line. If it's not, we'll see him in the 7th, but he might have said he's done enough. Ooh, pitch in or half.
Good pitch there by Max.
Really good pitch right there.
Fastball in.
Once again, that's another strikeout. That's another Skyfleet Hino strikeout by young Milner, route number 2.
Max doing a really good job tonight of staying composed, and his presence hasn't changed on the mound, even though his outcome might not be what he envisioned, but he's doing a good job at staying up there and battling through this inning.
Ball hit to left field. That's under Hawkins. You get under it, and that'll be out number 3, and that'll complete the inning. But not with a little bit of damage, with the Bandits scoring 4 here in the 6th. So after 6.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you,
Archer! Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Welcome back to Vidicon Stadium. We are now in the 7th inning. This will be the last inning of this ball game unless Team Australia can put up a crooked number in a bit. Team
And a couple.
In a couple. Bandits lead this ball game 7-0, and it's actually a Ace Communications call to the bullpen. On the mound for your Bandits is Mitch Houston. Final line on Tim Atherton. Very textbook. I think I've read this probably 100 times. This is an Atho line. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no earned, 9 punchies, no base on balls. Ball hit down the right field line, and that'll trickle foul. But a treat, like we talked about, for these young men. It's a story for Nick Hawkins. He owns Atho. That's what story he's going to stick with.
No comment. And obviously Atho was on fire tonight. He didn't miss spots.
Absolutely, and that's even a better story.
And
he had his A game, and Hawkins said he had his best stuff on the night.
Yeah, I guarantee you he wasn't taking it easy on anyone out there. Same as me. He's a competitor.
Ball hit sharply. It's like Dan
Nielsen out there at second base. Lucky he didn't have to move for that one. That was right at his chest. Well taken there by Dan.
A little bit of defensive change. We've got Sam Campion in right. Natal at first. Dan Nielsen has now moved to second base. And the only real switch is Houston on the mound.
Mitchie, one of the more experienced guys in the pen for this series and last series, pitching for a few years with the Bandits and also with the Tuatara previously, so no stranger to a late innings circumstances.
Ball down. Once again, this is the final game of the showcase. Bandits will travel to Adelaide next week. Pitched down. That's another Skyfleet Hino strikeout for your Brisbane Bandits. That'll be out number 2 of this 7-inning ball game. Chance to look at the replay. Really tough pitch right there. Good pitch, good location, and not a lot you can do.
No, good pitch there by Mitchie. He's got a lot of late life to his fastball, and that's what gives him such success, as you can see there.
Brings another young talent.
Hawkins chasing that ball a little bit low out of the zone, but with that late movement, it looks so good for so long, and by the time you start swinging, it's already past you.
Ball hit sharply to Franco, able to knock it down. Good feed to first. And that will be out number 3 in the final out. Sammy, thank you. It's been a fantastic weekend. I do appreciate your time up here and I love your stories, so thank you for sharing. Bandits finish up with a win, 7-0 against Team Australia on 10 hits, 7 runs, 1 error. Team Australia 3 hits, no runs. Player of the game, we have to probably acknowledge Mr. Tim Atherton. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 9 punch-outs, no base on balls. And let's acknowledge both these teams and both coaches, both Shane Watson and David Nielsen, putting on a fantastic show. It's been a great evening, and I think, like I said, hopefully this will start a trend where we get a chance to see more Team Australia across the country competing on these stages.
Yeah, thanks for having me tonight, Gonz. I appreciated the opportunity and enjoyed it. It was good to see. Get a different perspective from the ball game up here. I like it.
On behalf of the Brisbane Bandits, we want to thank you, the fans. We want to thank our partners and all the stakeholders. We look forward to seeing you again. Please tune in as the Bandits will travel to Adelaide. I believe that game will be streamed, so we will share that link on our social media platforms. But we will be back here on the 4th and 5th of February against the Canberra Cavalry, where the Bandits will play the best of 3 on that weekend. On behalf of the Bandits, you guys have a good night.
The Hino 300 series set the safety benchmark with Hino SmartSafe. Built for safety, ready for anything. That's another Hino advantage.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we're all about understanding your circumstances. We want to make sure that our clients have had the best service and an excellent experience. We're here to care for you.
Here at Phoenix Law & Associates, we speak your language.
Over the past 4 seasons, we've had new players, new rules, new stadiums and new teams. But one thing has stayed the same: Brett Sports, the official equipment partner of the Brisbane Bandits.